Hi, lovelies. It's Bryony. I've just woken up. I'm having a cup of coffee, and you might hear my children in the background, just chatting and bantering away. And I wanted to speak about something that I've been really deeply feeling for many years, and kind of was um, brought, I suppose, into a conversation yesterday. When we work with, my children are just really like kicking off. They're making pancakes right now. When we work with nervous system work, we work in relation to when we have a trauma vortex, we build a counter vortex. So we build, when there's charge in the body and we're kind of looping and spiraling around, then what we do is in order to build capacity and meeting the trauma, we build a counter vortex of pleasure and of presence and of grounding to build capacity in order to dip into the context. So we move back, we move between the vortexes. And I really was drawn to somatic therapy in this way of working because for so many years and so many particular experiences that I've had with trauma, with abuse, with death, with disease, illness, ruptures, relational ruptures, lifing, being a mother, divorce, all of it, is that the patterns that I have seen consistently throughout life, that I can't even tell you when they started. I just know that I've always known this, is that there's always a counterbalance to every situation, to every experience. There's always a counterweight. There's always a swing. There's always a spectrum. There's always, like, you could talk about karma, when karma comes threefold. And kind of like what we put out into the world, there is an opposite reflection. There is an opposite to that. And that's, I believe, is just the way life is and the way life moves. And so I was talking with a dearly beloved yesterday, who I just cherish so much. And this beloved, she works for an aid organization, and she has a direct experiences with Gaza. And I've been feeling this since the genocide several years ago, and as things has progressively gotten worse, that there has to be, and I've not said it publicly, there has to be a retribution. There has to be a counterbalance for this. The suffering and the horrors and the murder of these people, Palestinian people, who are just devastated still every day. And the kindness and beauty of these people, and the systematic West and Israel's annihilation of these people, there's going to be retribution. There's going to be natural retribution. There has to be a counterbalance to this. Like, life just can't, and people just can't go along doing this without there being an equal, if not more, karmic or kind of like natural impact to come back to balance out what the fuck has happened. I have not, as I said, I haven't spoken about this. There's a lot of things I don't talk about because I am so private, and because being an energy worker, there's just things that there's timing in this as well. And I sat with my beloved last night and I spoke. She said, and she's a medical background, and she's been in lots of different contexts. And she said, my colleagues don't believe me when I tell them that there's going to be a retribution for this. And I'm crying because I think the retribution is frightening, is going to be big. And I'm crying not for myself and my children. I'm crying because it touches on the pain of what the Palestinian people and humanity and the earth are doing, are feeling. That's being brought on and systematically done by humans. When she said this, it confirmed, of course, something that I'd been feeling. And when she brought words to it and she said, they don't believe me. It's like a micro and the macro, yeah. And I've been saying this for, so many people have been saying this, that the Palestinian genocide, it's at the heart, it's at the core of the Polycrisis. And it's the epicenter of humanity. It's the epicenter of humanity. And I know this to be so true in my body. That the suffering that the West is going to happen to all of us because of what has happened to the Palestinians. And I'm not saying anything to do with terrorism. I'm not saying anything to do with, like payment, but collective punishment. It needs to happen to counterbalance the atrocity. And life just works that way. That's just how it works. It's not whatever skin color you are, wherever you come from, how much money you have, how much privilege you have, how good you are. This is not that at all. This is not that at all. Collective retribution and a counterbalance to this atrocity is going to impact everybody. And it's coming. It's coming. It's here. And it's going to increase. And it's coming. And I just, at the core of it, we all want connection. We all want to feel safe and loved. We all want to be well. We all want joy. We all want to feel community and belonging. And yet at this point in humanity, we're not feeling that. And the people that are feeling that, the systems and the West is ripping that apart. Is literally violating each one of our the thread and connection of humanity and love and connection that we have with life and earth and our children and our future and each other. The systems and the West and the people in power are annihilating that. And I don't even think this is a physical annihilation. I think this is also a spiritual annihilation as well. I think this is also a spiritual war. It's happening in the astral plane as well. And I do believe there's powers and a power that is annihilating the very essence of who we are and the very connection that we have with life and each other. And it's important to take a moment and be with what that means, to see what we're contributing to, and to see how we can, in our system, in our part of the world, in our corner, how can we fortify and how can we turn towards repairing connection, reaching for the other, feeling and building safety and support in our system and in our communities, finding belonging and finding that thread of humanity that is being buried. It's being buried. So yeah, my children have calmed. There's no noise. I'm not worried about that. And I'm going to get back to my coffee, and I think my morning will be in deep reverence to life as it is right now, because it's such a joy. It's incredible. And these tears are joyful as well as grief-filled, because life is a gift. It is such a gift. Every moment, every day, every connection, every story that we hold, every person that we witness is such joy, such a extraordinary part of this. It's the point. And I just want to remind you that that love, and that your love and connection, and that your story and the whole thing is just, it's fucking worth it. It really is. It's worth it. And I hope today that you find a point of connection for yourself in your body or with another human, and then you can just sit with that for a moment and just be in the reverence and the glory of that, because it is fucking, it's just beautiful.